I fall down. Have you ever done something so incredibly stupid even you can't believe it? No, I didn't fall out of my van. Maggie messaged me during the day yesterday. I was over at the little house finishing the van up. And I must say, I'm pretty much ready to go. So she messages and says, hey, could you help us out tonight? And I said, sure. And I thought she meant like 6 o'clock, 7. I thought they were going out on a date, but no, they had office work to do. And this is where I really, really feel bad about this. Crazy old lady. That's me. Um, uh, so she calls me at 4. She said, Mom, you're not here. Did we misunderstand each other? And I'm like, you want me now? I was baking a sweet potato and eating salad. And oh my God. She says, we're going to take Finn over to the office. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, can I drive him back home in my van? She's like, no, because I don't want him sitting in a front seat. He just got out of his booster seat because he's tall and tall enough according to whatever the thingamajiggy is before you can just use a regular seatbelt. Finn is my grandson and he's 8 years old. Sorry for sipping. It's hot. Oh, guys. Oh, my head. Back to the story. So now I'm a little bit I wasn't really in a hurry per se. It was just the stupidest thing ever. So I said, before I take a shower, I'm going to take my garbage to the chute. So I take my rollator, I put my garbage on top of my rollator. I have not used my scooters since the day they came. Scooters, yes, I have 2. Long story, we won't talk about it. And so, right, so I take my garbage on my rollator, I drop it off in the chute, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna pull my usual where I sit on the rollator. It has a little seat and little bars, and then I push myself backwards because I can really build up speed and control it well. Until I didn't control it. I wasn't thinking. I never usually rollate to the end and into the foyer. I usually start past that little strip where the carpet ends and the tile begins. I wasn't thinking about it. I hit that strip at lightning speed and flipped backwards. I'm laughing now, but it was terrifying because you can't stop yourself. I'm pretty sure my ass hit the tile first because I've got 2 humongous bruises. And then it was just force. I couldn't stop it. My head went back and hit the tile so hard. I thought I split my skull in half. I swear to God, it was so painful. I heard this enormous pop. I thought for certain I cracked my skull. And after that, I can't quite remember what happened. I remember I must have come to some extent. I was like, because of the pain, and nobody came. When you want someone to hear through the walls, they don't. When you don't want to hear anyone through the walls, they do. Son of a gun. So somehow I got myself up off the floor. I can't remember the position of the rollator. I can't remember how I got up off the floor. All that's a blur. And I rollate myself back and my head is throbbing. I rollate myself back to the apartment, and then I realize I can't see the doorknob, and I'm like, my glasses. But I go inside and, and I call Michael right away, and I told him what happened. And he said, I'm dropping off Maggie and Finn, and poor Finn is all upset in the background because I'm crying. I was in terrible pain, guys, terrible. It still don't feel too good, but anyway. And they said, just stay there. Don't go in. Don't move. Just stay there. And I said, okay, all right. And while we're talking on the phone, I take the rollator and I go back to the hallway, to the foyer. And there's my glasses on the floor, like 6 feet away from where I dropped. Like it's just, my glasses went flying. And, wow, yeah. I still wonder what that giant pop was, that popping sound. Maybe it adjusted my back, I don't know. So anyway, yeah. So Michael comes and gets me, and I used my cane, and I did walk to the car, and we get to the hospital, and I walk in there, and I start to feel dizzy. And she says, you want a wheelchair? And I said, yes, please. And the guy saw the back of my head. It's like totally normal now, which totally blows my mind, okay? My head swelled up like half a tennis ball sticking up out of my head. I said, what does it look like, Mike? Did I crack it open? And he says, it's red. You think? I don't know what it looks like this morning, but little did I know, and I would find out later when I went to the bathroom in ER, and I see this big board about stroke. Little did I know that they thought I had a stroke. Because they had probably just been prompted about strokes and how they... So they're I guess it's because my blood pressure was at 185 over 112 when they brought me in. It shook my whole body, I mean, I must have been in adrenaline rush and, fight or flight sort of thing. Oh, guys, I still have... it feels like I have a sinus infection right now. That's what it feels like. And I'm not supposed to use screens. Yeah, that's gonna work. I'm not a good patient, guys. I'm not a good patient. I'm an impatient patient. Anyway. So they start running tests. Follow my finger and do this and do that and dance a jig. And no, they didn't make me dance a jig, but pretty close. Lift this arm, lift that arm, lift the right arm, a leg, left leg. And so they say, we're bringing a neurologist in. I'm like, are you joking? Head injury specialist. And a little screen comes up, and there's this little lady there, and she starts talking in a broken accent. Russian? I don't know. And she says, do you have any history of stroke? And I said, no, my heart, no, I'm good. For some reason, they fear you had stroke? And I'm like, no, I seriously doubt that. That was the first I'd heard of it, but that makes sense, all the shit they were testing. And so she tells them, to do the finger thing. She says, I'm going to come up behind you. She says, I want you to look straight at that wall, and when you see my finger, say something. And I saw it at the right time, obviously. Oh, guys, still, my head feels really tight, like it's still swollen, but it isn't. I can feel it. I know my head, but it feels like it's pulling all back there, and then I have the sinus thing going on in the front and aches and pains in my neck. Oh, my neck. How my neck hurt. So they gave me a head CT scan and then they CT'd my neck. I love those CT scans. They're so much faster and easier than an MRI. They don't make any noise. It just sounds like you're taking off in a superjet. And the little things going round and round. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Air pocket. So, yeah. Wait, I've got a burp. I must be guzzling coffee too fast. It's early, guys. It's dark out, and so I can't really get the lighting fixed here, so you'll just have to see my weird, possessed eyes. Doesn't it look strange? Yeah, anyway. Wow. So, I'm begging for ice packs, and no one will give me any. Finally, when they roll me back to the room, and I said, please, please, I'm in so much pain. I've got to have some ice packs because I had mine from the house, but it turned warm because my head must have been burning hot where the tennis ball was. What a thing. So now they want me to go to the head injury center for follow-up. He didn't want to do an MRI, and I'm so glad I didn't want an MRI. I hate those things. He said, look, he said, we could verify concussion by putting you through MRI, but the treatment will remain the same. I said, okay, that sounds logical. No MRI. I didn't insist on it or nothing. What's the point? I already had a CAT scan. They said there was no brain bleed that they could see and no crack that they could see because sometimes it doesn't show in these tests because of swelling until like, a day or two later. So they're like, if you start to walk weird or you get a temperature or this and that and the other thing, I got a list in the other room, come back to the ER. I said, I feel ridiculous. I shouldn't have come. And they're like, oh no, you should have come. I'm like, okay. Well, I did the right thing there. And it hurts, guys. God, it hurts. Sometimes it doesn't hurt anymore, and then it starts hurting, and I think I'm going to get my ice pack out. My ass really hurts. Oh, my God. I just banged it so hard. But, hey, I'm standing, I'm walking, I'm here. I can see straight, pretty much. These are my older glasses. So I'm glad I was wearing the older glasses when they went flying off my face. The other ones have been through hell, from the toilet paper that fell on my face. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much the long and short of it. Not a great dramatic story, but dramatic enough that it may delay my leaving once again. Unfortunately, I gotta wait 48 hours and see how I feel. That's the big number with concussion. Yeah. They suspect a concussion. They couldn't verify it through MRI because he didn't see the point. I don't see the point either. And, ow. I think I better stop looking at screens and finish my coffee. And, yeah, I'm pretty much done with the van thing. I've got one small box, the cooler bags, and one kitchen bag. Well, it's really my coffee bag, yeah. That's all that's left to go. Oh, and my clothes, And I'm ready to go at a moment's notice. So I guess I'm going to see how I recover. I have to call the head injury clinic. This is so dumb. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I sure am glad I didn't crack my head open. Yeah. Thank God I was only 4 feet from the ground. Alrighty, guys, so a little more delay, and then, and I don't want to drive in Florida rain anyway, guys, because when that rain comes down and you're driving, it can come down so hard that you can't see your hand in front of your face, even though you're inside the car. You know what I mean? It's that bad. So, I don't want to drive in that. It's really dangerous. Like you're going and suddenly you can't see a frickin' thing. I mean, nothing. It's just torrential, and I mean torrential. And I don't want to drive in that. It's especially with a concussion. If I have signs that I'm still wonky, I can't drive. You can't do that. So I'm just taking it a day at a time. Right now, I want to get through that first 48 hours, and I'm getting closer. And then I'll be able to assess what I want to do next. I'm telling you, I know. Some of you are going to be like, this is a sign from God. No, this is a sign that I'm an idiot and should not be pushing myself backwards in a rollator. Yeah, okay. I've learned my lesson there. There'll be no more rollating backwards. That was really dumb. Oh no, and here in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, yeah, but if you get over the lip first. No. Edit. No. No more rollating backwards, okay? Helpful safety tip for all you seniors out there.